I spent my formative riding years hucking to flats and laying down more Scandi flicks than Swedish telly. But road and gravel riding tempted me away from the last 10-ish years. However, a rekindled love for shredding the gnar has seen me riding a wide range of bikes over a relatively short amount of time. And let me tell you, tech has evolved since my last dalliances with mountain biking. With that in mind, here are the 3 trends in mountain bike tech that I welcome with open arms, and in the name of balance, 3 I loathe. But before I give you my love and hates, subscribe to the channel so you never miss another video. I'll start by giving you the tech trends that warm my heart. I tested a Bianchi methanol back in 2017. There was a lot to like about the XC bike, but the 2.1-inch rear tyre clearance severely limited its potential. The methanol wasn't alone. Many mountain bikes of that era had minuscule tyre clearances. Mercifully, things have moved on since I was a wee content grub, and modern cross-country bikes now have ample tyre clearance. For example, the recently released Pivot Les SL or Merida Big 9 will easily accommodate 2.4-inch wide tyres when mounted to a 30mm wide rim. For gnarlier riders, many trail and enduro bikes can now accommodate tyres up to 2.6 inches wide. Provided you nail your tyre pressures and choose the best mountain bike tyre for your riding, wider tyres can improve control and comfort in rough terrain. And if you're wondering how you do just that, we have videos showing you how to do each of those. Yep. Now don't get me wrong, there is still a place for narrower tyres, but I would rather have the option to go wider. Versatility is always a good thing, which neatly leads me to my next point. The proliferation of accessory mounts on mountain bikes is a good thing for all riders. It is now common for hardtails to feature 3 bottle cage mounts. Shredding is very thirsty work. Bike designers have also finally realised the need to hydrate doesn't vanish when you ride a full suspension mountain bike. Most brands ensure 2 bottles can fit inside the front triangle, or at least provide a secondary mount on the underside of the down tube. Budget hardtails frequently feature rack and mudguard mounts. Now, these may sit as an unused vestigial nub during a bike's shredding days, but they could be used if you repurpose your bike as a commuter or tourer. Or you could just fit a rack to your mountain bike and go touring on this rather than building a whole other bike, but that's a subject for another day. Mountain bikes also commonly feature mounts for multi-tools or pumps, usually on the underside of the top tube. It is much harder to leave these at home if they're strapped to your bike. Some bikes take this to a silly extreme. The warty appearance of the over-accessorized surly karate monkey springs to mind, but overall, it's a welcome trend. Even if they don't come with one as stock, most modern mountain bikes can fit an internally routed dropper post. A dropper post moves your saddle out of the way for improved control and comfort on technical descents. Now, I am more leg than man, so I don't mind a bit of old school high posting for cross-country riding. But it's reassuring to know any mountain bike I am likely to test could accommodate a dropper post should I wish to go full send. Now it is time to delve into the trends that make my blood boil. Now I'm sure everyone watching this video has their own list, and I want to see those down in the comments. Kicking things off, we have 35mm bars. 35mm diameter bars first appeared on downhill bikes, but are now seen on all types of mountain bikes and even some road bikes. They are purported to be stiffer for reduced weight compared to a 31.8mm bar. Now, to be honest, I had no position on 35mm bars until I went to fit an out front mount to a test bike. I had obviously left this to the last minute and swore the room blew as I realised not one of my mounts would fit the bike. And what if I'd wanted to swap the stock stem for one of the dozen 38 1.mm stems in my shed? This stuff drives me mad. It is pointless obsolescence of the worst order. Now, the fact I had already ridden the bike 3 or 4 times before this incident and not realised it was a 35mm bar says all you need to know. I refuse to believe there is a discernible difference in ride quality between 31.8 and 35mm bars. Any weight savings will be vanishingly small in the context of a full bike, and unless it's designed to be especially stiff, the ride quality of a 35mm bar should be the same as a 31.8. Now, some will disagree with me. This is the internet after all, and cite the increased steering accuracy offered by 35mm bars, but I call nonsense. I've ridden immovably stiff 31.8mm bars that would satisfy the most turgid masochist, and they didn't even weigh appreciably more than a more compliant bar. I despise 35mm bars and will not be convinced otherwise. Do you agree? Let me know in the comments. Press-fit bottom bracket shells are, in theory, a mechanically superior solution to a threaded shell, but few rejoice when a new bike features a press-fit bottom bracket. Press-fit bottom brackets were first widely adopted in the early 2010s. Confusing standards, dodgy manufacturing tolerances, intangible benefits, and poor communication from brands soon left a sour taste in the mouths of many riders. While things have improved dramatically, some issues remain. Even the most proficient mechanic will concede it is quicker to fit or rectify any issues with a threaded bottom bracket than a press-fit bottom bracket. All of this means that riders generally prefer to see threaded bottom brackets. But regardless of your stance, marketeers watching this video should tread carefully if engineers at your brand insist on press-fit. Specialized's move back to threaded shells was heralded as a win for riders and mechanics. Santa Cruz is also stuck with threaded bottom brackets forever, and I challenge you to find one comment requesting a move to press-fit bottom brackets. Ultimately, you will find far fewer supporting voices for press-fit than the good old threaded bottom bracket. My final mountain bike tech hatred is internal cable routing. I'll start by saying that I have little issue with routing cables through a frame. Provided it's well designed, stuffing a cable into a down tube is less traumatic than you may expect. However, many new mountain bikes feature fully integrated front ends with cables routed through the bar and into the head tube. This trend makes mountain bikes more complicated and less user-friendly with no performance benefit. So why have integrated front ends become so commonplace on mountain bikes? Well, I couldn't give a fig about such small gains on road bikes. Fully integrated front ends are claimed to reduce drag. Now, I challenge any bike designer to look me in the eye and say aero improvements of hidden cables on a mountain bike will make you faster without smirking. Internal cable routing can make it easier to mount bike packing bags, but if we're being honest, this isn't why brands opt to hide cable routing in their bars, is it? As far as I can tell, the only reason internal cable routing has become popular is because some riders and brands like the way it looks. While it's fine to want your bike to look good, it shouldn't come at the expense of easy maintenance. Just stop. Now, those are my personal mountain bike loves and hates, but what do you think? Did I miss anything off the list? Have I been unfair on any points? Please leave your comments below. I love reading them. I'll get back to you and we can have a good old bicker in classic YouTube style. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and of course, hit that little notification bell. And if you want even more spicy mountain bike opinions, check out this video.
Full send.